Hello everybody, I'm Serta and welcome back to Foundry. In this episode, we are finally going to make some robots. But things have gone very well, our profits are good, we are paying off our debt, and the factory is expanding. In between episodes, I did a bit of work on getting the fracking sorted out on all the locations, and I have now got all of these pads, 4 of them. And someone mentioned in the comments, I probably need to frack another place because there would be mineral rock, but I've looked at my map and there is not a single mineral rock vein anywhere on this map. And this is completely opened up because my scanner's been working really hard, and that's it. We have the whole place exposed. No mineral rock. A few talexite veins, but yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing. But we do have a couple of places that we can mine it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to keep doing that to keep the factory going. But we will need mineral rock because when we finally get to the blast furnaces, yeah, we're definitely going to need mineral rock. Anyway, that's that. We are researching pump efficiency. I did a couple of little researches and space station upgrades between episodes. I upgraded this to the max, so it's unlocking a block every 0.4 seconds. But I think it stopped working now because everything's unlocked. Look at that tank. Very cool. Radio tower's good. And I have a lot of cash. And we're going to need it because today we are going to make our first robot that we need to dominate another market. Anyway, lots to do. Let's get stuck in. Right, so we are going to head down the line, and this line continues through to all the little bot factories, and then I have made a mess of belts underneath to transfer all of this to go down this way as well. I don't know if I'm going to need the ignium. Actually, I am. I'm going to need explosives because there is a combat bot or combat robot, and that needs explosives, and yeah, still need to carry everything down. So what you're looking at here are all the preparations. This is leading up to the production line, and this is all the stuff that we need for one robot. Quite expensive, but the robot is worth it. Where some of our bots are only like 100 Thermalite, this robot will sell for 630 at the base price. Let's look at our space station. So we're 1.14 million. Oh, you know what that means? Bye-bye debt. Last $500,000 and make payment. We are debt-free. Excellent. We have no R&D to do. Station upgrades, I'm not too stressed about them at the moment. We could do the reactor upgrade. That'll give us an extra 250 megawatts of power. I see we're a bit low there, so we could do that. It is expensive, especially on construction materials, but I suppose it's a good one to do. Let's do it. So we'll let that run while we are busy going. We still have 650,000, and that's good because we're going to need it for some big chunky ships. Anyway, let's go through this process. Right, I brought a few lines down here. This process over here is basically to make the energy cells. So we got the wire into the electronic components, and something new in this one, we've got the xenoferrite going into the production of ore miners. Yeah, there we go. This makes 15, but my target is to make 8 robots. And to make 8 robots, I need 16 arms. Now the 8 robots will give us 480 per hour that we can sell to the market. Our demand on the planet that we're targeting, which is this one over here, is only 144 an hour. Yeah, we'll have spare to sell on the galactic market. Perfect. Anyway, so we are making enough to make 16 arms, and then on this side we're making the glass, and that glass goes into these machines to make the energy cells. Then we have another line coming in here. Now this is not by any means efficient. I could have done it a little bit better, but we are overproducing the early stuff so that we don't underproduce on the final product. So yeah, here we are making circuit boards, and then the circuit boards are going over these other belts with the energy cells. And then this line is to make the robot parts. It has everything that it needs to make the robot parts. So I'm making in these 2 machines the advanced machinery parts. Then we come down here for the electronic parts. The electronic parts, machinery parts, Thermalite bars are coming down this side, and then on this side we've got the polymer sheets, and they are outputting the robot parts. And these robot parts are heading around in that direction. Okay, we'll get to where they're going. And then these 2 machines up here are making our pistons. So we have a line of olumite coming over here. We're making the low density olumite in this machine. We've got a stack over there behind it so that it keeps producing. That's being pumped into these 2 machines, and they need steel, low density oleomite, and they are each pushing out 12 hydraulic pistons. We need 32, so this is pushing out 36. And then those are coming out on a line over here. And then everything kind of comes together. We're bringing the mining drills down from the other side, so we're wrapping them around. We are continuing the steel through because we need that for a couple of processes. The pistons are going through here. The robot parts are coming through behind. And these first 4 machines need the pistons and the steel. These first 2 are the arms that need the mining tools. So once we've plugged that in, that will satisfy the need for the arms. And that makes 8, and that makes 8, so we'll have 16 arms. And then we don't need the mining drills for the legs, so yep, same thing minus the mining drills, and we've got the legs, 2 machines, and then 1 machine to make the torso, and that takes in all the stuff from over there, so the thermalite, the circuit boards, the energy cells, and then on the other side, the robot parts. And then the final step, the head. So we need iron plates, which I am continuing a belt through from the other side instead of bringing a new one off that and trying to weave it through here. So the xenoferrite plates are coming through here, the robot parts through here, obviously. And then we just have to bring the CPUs in, and I added the CPUs to our belt, so they are right here. And that is just about everything to get the production line started. And the production lines are pretty large, but there is one final item that I need, and that's paint. And I haven't set that up yet. So that's what we're going to do first. But before I start on that, a quick note. I'm glad I made this expandable. And the reason I say that is because each mining location has a fracking well. Each mine in that location uses 150, potentially if it's working full time, 150 liters per second. This machine only makes 1200, it uses 150 liters per minute. This machine, a single machine, only makes 1200 per minute, which means that if we were to have 10 miners, this would not be enough if they were working full time. Fortunately, right now they aren't, but eventually they will. So we're going to have to expand this because I'm thinking I'm probably going to have 30 to 40 miners on those veins. So we're going to need quite a few of these machines. Yeah, so that's something to bear in mind. That's why I changed the location of this pipe coming through, and I brought it through so that I could put another one of these machines next to this one. And then I've also made sure that it's high enough that these pipes can continue through 2 more machines down in this direction, and we can make sure that the fracking liquid is good. Anyway, that's that. So earmarked a location for the paint production, which will be here. So let's have a look at that. If we hop in here, the paint starts with low density oleomite gas and water. It's very easy. You make it in a chemical processor. I think I have one on me. So let's grab that, and I'll do all the pre-processing before this. Yeah, I'll put the panel on this side, which is no, I think that might be okay. Just kind of line it up with something over there. How are we doing? All right, let's see what the recipe yields. Now I got it completely wrong. I need to put the chemical processor down. This is the final step. Am I going to put it in a tank? Maybe I will, so I'll leave a bit of space. Oh, actually, this area is a bit tight. Let's set this recipe, and then we can see where all the ports are. So the input and the output, that's the water. That's a low density oleomite. So the water comes in on the same side. Oh, they all come in on the same side. I'm only going to do one of these. I don't know how much we're going to use. If I need more down the line, I'll make another setup like this. But this is making 800 per minute. All right, I am going to move this. Set it back a little bit. I will put it over. Can't line it up with much, really. All right, that's as far out of the way as I can get it. And then I'm going to need 2 distillation columns, and they will feed in. Make sure that I know where everything is. Okay, that comes out. So, all right, I'm going to need to bring the water over the top of whatever I put in here. So let's get the distillation column sorted out. We'll have 1 over here and 1. Should I leave space? I should probably. Yeah. Okay, so the first one will be the low density oleomite. That's in. Then this one will be the gas. Right. I think once I've got a stack going, let's see, where is the output for? That's input. That's input. Okay, the outputs there and there. Where's the gas? Okay, gas is here on this one and probably the same on this one. But this might be a bit of a mess. But I think I will bring the gases out around this side and put the stack over here. So something like, oh, we can line it up with stuff. Now I'm also going to want to bring the oleomite through over here. So what I might do is just because it's going to go in there, I think I might just drop this a level. So let's put a bend in here, get it into position. No, actually, I'm going to take that out and I'm going to drop it straight off the bat. So we'll do that. And then around the corner at the pipe, we'll tuck it in fairly close right there. And then we'll drag this. We'll break a piece out to put the T in. And then right here, we can drop it down. And there we go. So that's one in. And then we'll break this one out, get a T-junction sorted out. That's in. And then just a couple of bends out of here. I need to go down for this and put that in, and then straights, and that is in. So the stack is now connected. Perfect. Right, the next is to get the Olumite line to come straight over this one. So just so I don't make a mistake, let's just check. I think it's the middle one. So we hit V, go there. Yep, crude Olumite right there. So that's 3 pieces out of there. And do all the bendy stuff just to hop it over the other pipes. And throw in the junction. And then just pull a straight line out over this way. And I'm actually going to drop it down over here. Not to complicate my life at all. Let me get the T-junction over there. That's where that one is going to go. And then we can already put a bend over here. Get the bend on this machine in and the same on this one. And that will be that. Bend that one down. That one over there. And now it's just a few straights. We'll rotate that and pop that right in there. What? Oh, no, I'm not blocking anything. Crude Olumite. Oh, there's one piece I haven't connected. Wondering why it wasn't working. That piece there and this piece here. These should start working now. There we go. Good. So these outputs need to be connected. First one, really straightforward, straight across. Second one, I think I'm going to bring it out to there and then bend it. Okay, put that in there. Then this will bend to there and then straight line right across to there. Okay, 2 items are in and being accepted. And then the final one is the water to go in there. And our water line can break over here. So we'll break it out. And we do all the bendy stuff on this. Throw a T-junction in, this over, and drop it straight in from here. Just like that. And that, folks, should be making us some paint. It is. That is great. I'm going to store it. And then I'm going to add this to the bus line, I think. So let's get a liquid storage. It's going to come out the back, so I will need to bring it underneath that cable. I will just center it with this machine. That should be fine. Yeah, I'm going to need to just come out one to dodge this power line. And with that, the tank is connected and should be storing paint. Look at that. Awesome. And then I will bring the paint out of here and add it to our line. So I will just go to the line and then work backwards to the tank. Last bend at the bottom, rotate that, and there we go. We have a paint line. Now this will be important down the line because all the robot production facilities need paint. And with that, we have paint added to our line. Just like that. Sorted. Right, I need to start producing these robot parts, and I think I want to buffer them as well, so that's going to take a little bit more space. So, lots of inputs, and I hope I don't make a mistake on any of them. 3 lanes over there. Alright, so these are sorted, and I need the inputs on the other side as well. And I'll just make sure that I have all of them done. Good, that should kick off the first 4 machines. Yeah, those are all working. Fantastic. Now, this one needs a few things, and these are them. And I just finished something. I think it was the space station upgrade. So let's bring this out. And I think what I might do is just bring it straight in. Now, this facility is purpose-made to make a certain amount of an item, so there won't be any room for expansion. If I need more of them, I'll make another facility like this. So put those all in, and that machine starts working. Good, good. Right, so the last one, we just really need to bring the CPUs down this side. So I'll break some out, I'll put the balancer in, and then run this all the way down. I've added the CPUs onto the line because all of the robot heads use the CPUs. Except for the combat one, the CPUs I think in the torso. And look at that, I'm out of loaders. Well, single lane loaders anyway. That can go in there, and this should start. Fantastic. And we'll need to get some more loaders because I want to put little buffer boxes down for these. Okay, so we're going to need an output belt for each item. So I will put that in to there, that to there. Now I made the mistake in my first playthrough of this where I had everything very close together and I didn't realize the size of the production line. So it ended up being a terrible squeeze. Well, I'm not going to let that happen again. Right, 3-lane outputs on each of these. And that should leave us a little piece of belt to put each of these into a storage box. And they don't stack very high. It looks like they only stack to 10. We'll just confirm that in a moment. Yep, that's it. They only stack to 10. So I'm not going to go with the little tiny box. I'll rather go with a slightly bigger one. Not going to go with a huge one. I don't think there's a point to that. And we'll just pop them in just like that. Oh, and I got them all wrong. So let's try that again in the correct position. Good, that's right. And inserters into all the right places, and there we go. We are going to have robot parts galore. Now there will be a bit of belt jumping because I mean these aren't in the correct order, I don't think, but that's fine. So the production line, let's get started on building that. Now this is a bit of a monster, but I have all the stuff ready. So it all starts with a assembly line start, and that you basically just yes, it's yes, it takes high voltage, so I'm actually just going to build it. But the first piece is the torso, and I believe you plug the torso into this. But if you have a look at the next pieces, they are a lot wider, so you kind of have to plan where everything's going to go before you start putting it all in. So what I think I might do is, because they're 12 units, I think maybe I'm going to have the starter over on that side. Let me bring some power through. Let's see where this lands us in a straight line. Can I fit that in right there? Oh, very nice. And put that one down there. Okay, so the way I see it, we're going to have the torso, head, arm, leg. So if I put 5 items down this way, I will be able to input all of these boxes into them. All right, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So that should be enough space, and then a turn to double it back, and then we'll have the spaceship platform out over here somewhere. Right, will this reach too far away? Of course it's too far away. That just means we have to have another one of these big things on our platform. All right, so that goes there and that plugs in. And we will set this by going into configure, and we want to make the minor robot. Okay, and it's all charged up, ready to go. So this is the torso, and that needs to go in there. That does not need a loader. And then we're going to have to hop this one, unfortunately, over. The other two will be fine. We'll put the legs on before we put the arms on. That's good. Okay, so the belt work won't be perfect, but it'll be okay. So let's bring this one through to there and plug it straight in. Output from there. All right, and then let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. Stage 1. Excellent. Now we need the assembly line producer. Pop that in there, and that will be for the head. So this is the only messy belt I'm going to do, I think. Yep, a couple of jumps, and we should be good. Belt in there, loader in there. Grab a belt, throw that in there, plug that straight in. Now we're going to need to configure this. Oh, and of course you can put catwalks all the way down. You can add little ladders so that you can climb on. Okay, so there's no power connection. We need to connect that from there to there. Awesome. We can configure it. Minor robot, and we want to attach head. Select. And there we go. Now we have our robots with heads on. I might have messed up my placement just slightly. I hope this all fits in, but yeah, don't know if I might need to move this whole thing back. Anyway, we are going to need assembly line producers from here on for 2 legs, 2 arms. Ah, man, I have messed it up. Yeah, I just need it to be slightly back. All right, let me fix all this up. Be right back. Right, I have fixed it. Well, I think I fixed it. So we will continue. I've moved the starter a little bit further back. Yeah, I miscalculated because I only put 5. I only accounted for 5 on the side, but that's okay. Everything is going to be fine. Torso, head, arm, or leg, or whatever it is, and then another 2. Okay, the line is straight, and then I can put my turn in, and I'm going to have to extend this platform. So we've got these assembly line rails, and if you right click, you can choose which one you want. I'm going to take the left turn with the high voltage connection, and we will go that way. And then I'm going to have to, yeah, before I do this, mind you, I can actually do it now. Now you can slope up, slope down. You can do all sorts of things with this. Straight with an H, no, I don't need that much. I'm going to do straight without the connector. So we can do that. And I reckon if we do another 2, I'm going to have to make more, I think. Let's extend this platform because now we've got to get the welding done. Right, the platform has been expanded and I have some more of these. So I will put another 2 in here. I hope that span is not too long because now I need another left curve. Like, that's not going to be enough, is it? No, it isn't because there were supposed to be another 5 of those straight pieces. What I might do is just put one of the high voltage jobs in here. So the straight with the high voltage, I believe, is that one. And then the normal straight, 5 out. And then I can put the left turn. And that should be spaced well enough. And with any luck, I can squeeze a pipe over the top of this for the paint, which will eventually come through here. Good. Just make sure that I can actually connect the cables from there. Could I have connected to there? No, it's too far. Okay. So there and there. Nice. Well, now we have to see if this actually fits in. And it appears to with enough space. Good. I think that is what we need because we need to weld a couple of things on the way down the line and then we need to paint. All right, so let's start the process at the beginning so that I've got the spacing right so I don't have to break this down again. So I will just connect all the cables all the way down the line. Make sure that my heads are plugged in. After all that, I somehow managed to hash things up again. Let me just remind myself of the configuration thing. Okay, so I need 5 for the attachments. That's after the torso. And then I need 5 for the welding. Oh man, I've messed up the numbers again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, that's right. Oh, I see what I've done here. I confused myself by putting these into the wrong ports. And now the torsos are the ones that are going to have to hop the line. Okay, so the head is going to go straight into there. The torso needs to hop this line. So no real problem there. So that's done, and that can feed into there. Good, those are off. All right, let's start doing some configuration. So, minor robot, and I'm going to see if I can toss... Yeah, I need to get some of these out of my inventory. Eventually, I'll whittle it down. Okay, so they are being made. The torsos are in. Good. Next step, we will add the miner's head. Attach head, select. That's working. This one, minor robot, we are going to do legs now because the legs are closest. There they are. So that's the left leg, and then the right leg, and then the left arm, and then the last step will be the right arm. And we should see little icons that show us what is being done in each. Super. All right, well, let's get that all on. Now, these are just being attached. They still need to be welded. And I'll just bring the leg in over there and this leg in over there. And it's happening. Legs are being attached. Excellent. I'm going to make so much money from these. And then a couple of outputs here. Bring that one through to here and drop it in there. Good. And then this one around here and drop it in there. And now the arms should be connected. Look at that. We have robots. Beautiful. Next step is the welding. So, configure. Minor robot weld head. And they'll come down the line. We'll weld the left leg because we're just doing things in order. Right leg. Weld. Right leg. I think I might have got the last one wrong. Just make sure. Yeah, no, that's attaching. Let's reset that. Weld left leg. Okay, that's happening. Weld right leg. And then we're going to need 2 for the arms. So I'm going to need to put 1 more in right there. And then we can set the arm welds. Weld arm left there. And connect the grid. And this will be weld arm right. Select that. Perfect. Okay. Ah, that looks good. We have completed robots. Well, almost. We still need to paint them. And that is another little section, which is called the assembly line painter. And we'll put it right there. And the input is, we have an input on the outside. That is very fortunate. So I'm going to, yeah, there's nothing else going over here. So I'm going to bring that paint pipe. And I don't know if I've got enough to get us there. It may be a little tight. Man, I've literally got 10 pieces of pipe left. Let's hope. Oh, it looks like I'm going to be okay. And pop that in. Oh, there we go. There's our paint. And we need to have a grid connection for this. So we connect that in. Great stuff. And then I can configure the painting for minor robot. Let's have a look. Torso, we are going orange. Head, we're going orange. Arms, what the heck, we're going orange. Yeah, those are sexy. And you can turn them so you can see what's going on. Oh yeah, definitely produced by Certa. Confirm. Oh, that is beautiful. And now we need to put down a platform. I don't know if I'm going to have enough platforms to do this because we are going into a medium spaceship landing pad. I've done one before over there. You can see it on the just above the trees. It's very big. And we can see how big it is by looking over here. The base is 31 by 27. So if I go from here and I do a 31 by 31, which I may actually have enough for, and then chop down all the trees, fill in all the holes. Okay, that's good. So let's put down this medium landing pad. And there it is. It's large, but I think I do need to line it up because, oh, right, this one, let's just go into the buying thing over here so you can see what it is, because it's not the same as a normal landing pad. It is this one that is made for assembly line, so it's got a little AL symbol on the logo. Obviously, it's not loaded by belt. So I'm going to get that as close as possible. So right there should be okay. You know, I'm going to take that down. I want it to be 2 away so that it lines up with the platform over there. All right, that's 1 and 2. There we go. That's pretty. And then I can get these spaces in here. And do they go in? No, they don't, because we haven't configured this yet. So let's do that. Configure the pad where's from the factory to the space station. We don't really have a choice. We just have to find the miner robot. Confirm. I'm going to need to buy new ships because, yeah, we already have one medium cargo ship tier 2. I'm going to switch all of those off and I'm going to say you are the one and you're going to do 44 per time and we will reduce that and then confirm. And that should mean that, yep, our robots are heading up to the space station. Marvelous. And once there's enough, a spaceship will come down. Oh man, this looks pretty good. Pretty good indeed. And while we've been standing here, I haven't done any research. So I'm going to get another one of the mining efficiency jobs started. And yeah, we'll have a look at the space station in a moment. I just want to make sure that I see this ship coming down and collecting. And with one more, that should bring the spaceship in. Unless it's busy with the other one. Ha, I might need to get another one of those. Darn. Okay, that's not good. So, spaceships, buy a spaceship. I want this one, and I'm going to set it to planetary shipping. There it is. Oh, that's right. I didn't have the big one before. I only had the T1. All right, wait, does that change things? It does. Yeah, I actually, I don't know why it displayed a T2 because I didn't actually have a T2. But there you go. We're going to get our first load of robots up to our space station. And they're not producing massively fast, 8 per minute, but that's 480 per hour. And that will keep our clients satisfied. And we'll have a whole bunch left over to sell from the spaceship. And off we go. All right, well, now that that's all working, and I will recheck the lines and everything between episodes, make sure that everything is good. Let's have a look at our space station stuff. All right, there's R&D. Heavy duty price. Vacuum bot. I think efficiency on this one. And then mining drone. That will be efficiency as well. I should maybe have done the weight. Oh well, doesn't matter. But we do have a miner robot as well. And that's just about to hit its first level. And the first thing I'm going to do with that is sort out the weight. There you go. It will get better, but I want to be able to transport more of them. Now, I'm not sure. I've never actually checked this. Do you have to reset the configuration? I'm not sure if I want to do it while there's a spaceship here. Configure minimum to move. Now we can take 50. So you actually have to come and change that once you do those. Yeah, that's not good. All right. So that's confirmed. Now it'll be 50. Back to the space station. I'm going to get another spaceship. This one over here. Another big T2. Because it carries enough. I'm going to go to my galaxy map, hit the planet that I want to send those to, go to open supply, route trade, and then send them some miners. And that will give us market dominance. I believe it will. We're supplying everything else, so we'll wait for that to happen and watch the money roll in. But now, whenever you create a new bot or robot, also just don't forget to go into your sales platform and find the one and then enable it The hourly, oh, that's too much demand. That I can manage. Amount to keep in stock, but look at that, 945 thermalites each. I hope that demand isn't going to cause a problem for our deliveries. Yeah, that's fine. We'll leave it there and see what happens. But we should immediately start seeing an increase. Look at that money increase. The profit just spiked, something chronic. Oh, there's one thing I forgot. I bought that extra ship and then I didn't assign it. Okay, spaceship management. I'm going to add a ship and it's going to be that T2 medium assigned. Right now I've got a T1 medium assigned, but it might not be able to carry the weight. So I'll do that. That'll get things going faster, and I'll move the other ship to another planet at some point. Alright, let's have a look at station upgrades. We are going to be making money hand over fist right now, so what I might do is just do another upgrade to the thermalite vault. And if I do that one, it's going to give me another 3 million, so it'll take the total capacity up to 5 million. That's fine. Yep, let's do that. And then I'm going to change one of these out. I'm going to reset that one and make that one the miner robot to increase the XP a little bit faster. And I've got enough money, so why not? I'll do... Actually, how much money do I have? I've got lots. Let's do another one. So we are getting 1.85 XP per product made instead of the one that we started with. And I'll move that up. Do another one. 1.9. There you go. And I still got money left over. And I'm up to 192,000. I felt like that should have been bigger. Maybe I need to get this dominance first, because I really felt like that should have been well over 350,000 profit per day. But then maybe I'm just, I'm being impatient. It's still building. But there we go. That's what actual production looks like. Bit of space. There seems to be a slowdown somewhere here. Why is that going slowly? Now I've got these all set up properly, and this shouldn't be backing up at all. This is balanced. Maybe it's just because I had stuff in the boxes. Anyway, I got some heads and torsos to throw in boxes as well, and get those out of my inventory. Maybe I should have balanced these coming out. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to change this up. So that goes there, and then I can break this belt and plug that in there. Yep. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that should work. And put the legs in there. All right. And then just get rid of this belt. Balancer in there, and swing this to there. Okay, good. That'll balance things now. Because I think what these will do is they will fill up with a stack. Well, not... They will get a few items in, and I don't think it's going to back up, because I think I've got this pretty well balanced. But everything is still working. It just seems that they're a little bit slow on the arms and legs, and I will have to check at why that is. It should not be the case, because we've got 2 producing 8. So we've got 8 torsos and 8 heads per minute. Then we've got 2 producing 8 arms each. So that's right. And then 2 producing 8 legs each. Well, these are arms and those are legs. So absolutely no reason why there should be any backup. Unless these can only do a certain amount per minute. Yep, they do 32 per minute. So that shouldn't be an issue. But I think this spacing, this is probably what we can expect. Yeah, that looks good. And if I wanted to be able to get around a little bit, we could just add some catwalks in various places, like that. And maybe we want to climb up from somewhere. Let's say from here. And now we have stairs. And now we can just climb up. Don't need to fly up anymore. I think I started storing these heads and torsos first, so they're going through much quicker than they should be. Yeah, okay, so that's what the problem is. And there you go. That's everything that goes into making a single robot. That's pretty impressive. And our profit's up to 371,000 per day. And we got some more R&D to do. Miner robot. Let's go with the efficiency on this one, because then we get extra product. I think I'll do that. The price is already high. I mean, it's ridiculously high. I think the base price for this robot is 630. It's one of the highest in the game. So we go to the sales platform. Okay, now that's not going to show because I've already got... If I put it at regular, that's the base price at regular price. Now I'm selling it at 945. So yeah, that's pretty profitable. Definitely worth the setup. Yeah, it does look good. I'm impressed with myself. So if you like this video, give us a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. Leave me your comments. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Let me know your thoughts on my robot production line. And obviously you can make many, many more of those and many more bots and get market dominance because you have a map that's full of resources. And I can finish off by talking to this dude and getting him to finish off this task. And now Cole's gonna bother me. Nope. Oh, that wasn't too bad. So going big, complete the blast furnace research.
Compared to our production capabilities, our smelting capabilities feel meager. The archive shows a blueprint of an impressive building, the blast furnace. We need it now.
Anyway, I'm going to let him have the exclamation mark for a while. The next big task is the blast furnaces, and they are quite a setup. And as we are just about to hit 400,000 profit per day, I thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, cheers!